Welcome to Radiant Reiki with Carol. My name is Carol and this channel is about all things spiritual. In addition, I'm also hosting the Radiant Wave, my podcast. Welcome in. Today, Spirit wanted me to talk about the importance of trusting and accepting yourself just as you are at all times, and not ever putting anybody else's opinions of you above yourself. So think about it. Ask yourself this question: where in my life am I placing another person's needs or opinions or validation above my own inner truth? How about that for a question, hey? Maybe you can do some journaling about it, or maybe just think about it in meditation, or write a comment on my podcast here, right? Or on my YouTube channel. I'd love to hear about it, whatever you have to say in that area. So that's the important thing, is that we're always, number one, is we need to always put ourselves first. Above others in any relationship, whether it be friendship or romantic, husband, wife, any relationship, you need to put yourself first. Now, that doesn't mean, so let's say if you're in a romantic relationship, or somebody you're living with, and of course you're going to have to compromise and do all those things. Yes, because what you're doing when you're compromising in those situations, you're putting that relationship above yourself. You're not putting the other person above yourself. You're not putting your partner above yourself. You're putting the relationship above yourself. And in that case, yes, you can compromise, you can do all those wonderful things, but never put that person above you. You are number one, right? So there are many ways that some of us give away our power. And we give it away and we don't even realize it, right? So I'm going to talk about 5 ways that you may be giving away your power and how to take it back. So number 1 is saying yes to someone and you really don't know whether you want to do that thing or not. So saying yes because you're worried about what they might think of you, or maybe because you don't want to disappoint them, right? And that's really nice. I know you don't want to ever disappoint anyone. I get that. But it's important to actually trust yourself and trust your own feelings and go, okay, how do I really feel about this? Do an energy audit on yourself and say, dude, how do I really feel about this? Is this something I really want to do? Is this good for me? So that's how you can take your power back in that situation, is not always saying yes to someone just because that's what they want. You need to check in with yourself and trust yourself that you know what's right for you, right? So number 2 is seeking external validation from others. Now, this is not what other people think of us or you is none of our business. What other people think of us is absolutely not our business. You know why? Because it's really about them. Whatever they think about us is really more about them. So why would I care what they think? Because it's really mostly about them. You are the most important person. It's what you think that matters. What you think about yourself is what matters, and your actions. That's the most important thing. So again, a way to take back your power for that is to actually do an energy audit again and ask yourself, where am I seeking other people's approval? Am I doing this because of what someone else might think, or am I doing it for myself because that's what I think? So again, other people's opinions of you don't matter. You know what else you can do is look yourself in the mirror and look into your eyes and say, my value, first of all, say, I am enough, or I like to say I'm awesome, or you could say I'm more than enough, because you are. But say it to yourself in a mirror and look in your own eyes, because people say, how you hear the eyes are the windows to the soul. They truly are. And so when you look into your own eyes, you're looking into your own soul and your own higher self and your own divine self. And that's who you want to check in with all of these things in taking back your power, is checking in with your divine self. So look into your eyes and say, I am enough, or I am more than enough, or I am awesome. And then say, my value is not determined by other people's opinions of me. And you may want to repeat it a couple of times. If you can do this once a day, look into your eyes and repeat that affirmation. I am more than enough, and my value is not determined by other people's opinions. Then when you say it out loud, you're letting your subconscious know this. And when you're looking in your eyes, you're really connecting with your inner self or your divine self, which is so important in whatever you do, really. So that's number 2. Number 3 is staying in toxic relationships. Sometimes we are staying in relationships, whether they're friendships, whether they're romantic, or even workplace. I mean, workplace, you don't have as much of a choice on that, but you don't have to be hanging out with them outside of work, though, right? So again, if you're in a relationship that is not reciprocal, if you're the one giving at all times and they're not, and they're taking, then that's going to be a toxic relationship, right? So you might want to maybe even make a list. Who in your life, this is how you can take your power back, is make a list. Who in your life drains your energy, both physically and spiritually or emotionally? Who drains your energy? Write that down. Those people. Those are the ones you might want to stay away from, or spend as little time as possible with them. And actually protect your own energy when you're with them. You can bubble yourself up. I have another video on how to clear negative energy from yourself and your spaces. You can check that video out. Okay, I'll put it on at the end. So those people you want to put minimal amount of time to spend with. Who nourishes you? Who gives you energy? Right? Those people on that list, those are the ones you want to hang out with more, right? If they're nourishing you and giving you energy, then they're being reciprocal with you, and that's what you want, right? So don't stay in those toxic relationships if they're not giving to you as much as you're giving to them. And number 4 is never dim your light for anyone, right? So sometimes we don't want to shine too brightly, or, because then it might make other people feel uncomfortable, or they might feel like they're less than we are, right? Or they're not as cool as we are, they're not as great as we are, right? No, you never want to dim your light, or we don't want to dim our light for anyone, because first of all, it actually gives the other people permission to shine their light, because we all have a light to shine, right? And some people choose to not shine it, but we don't have to be those people. We can shine our light and we can show our radiance, and that gives other people permission to do so too. So celebrate your wins, celebrate your life, celebrate the good stuff with other people, and don't worry about what they're thinking or how they're feeling about it. That's not, again, it's not our business. Our business is how we feel. So feel free to celebrate yourself at all times, because honestly, you are a great role model if you can do that. That inspires other people. Okay, and then number 5, the last one, is never blame your life circumstances on someone else. That is totally giving away your power right there. That is not what we want to do. We want to actually take back your power on that. Do not think of that in those terms. Don't think that that person has actually taken your life and turned it upside down. No, they may have done something horrible to you. Maybe they changed your life somewhat, but it's up to you how you react to that, how you respond to that, and how you move forward with that. So if you're constantly blaming that other person, oh, that person broke my heart, that person was mean to me, that person took this away from me, that person took my job, that person took my marriage, whatever, then you're putting yourself in a victim mode. You don't want to be a victim. No, you're not a victim. Take that power back and forget that victimhood. You don't need that. You can say, wow, when something bad's happening, when you feel or you perceive that something bad is happening to you or somebody is doing something that you don't prefer, then you might want to go, all right, why is this happening? What can I learn from this? What maybe you're learning to stand up for yourself. Maybe you're learning that you're stronger than you thought you were. Maybe you're learning that you're way more than enough because you're dealing with this situation, right? All these situations that are not something we prefer will help us grow. So if you can see, that's how you can take your power back, is see how is that situation or the situation that already happened in the past, that probably helped you be who you are now, that person that you are now. It probably helped you be strong, stand on your own 2 feet, and do the things that you maybe thought you never could or never would. So that's good, right? So take that power back and turn it around. Instead of being a victim, they broke my heart, and so therefore I can never give my heart away again. No, they may have broken your heart, absolutely. But what you learn from that is that you know how to give love, and some people don't. So you may want to wait until you find the right person that you want to give your heart to, right? That's cool. But don't just never give it away ever again, right? You got to do it again, because now you'll find out who's the right person for me. So you don't want to be a victim. You're never that. You're always in power. You can see how you can change your life or shift it to work in your favor. And because we do have control over many things in our lives. So look and see what you have control over and take control of that, right? Okay. So those are the 5 things that maybe you've been giving your power away. Leave a comment, like and subscribe. Share this with another person who you think might need to hear it, and help my channel grow. I'd really appreciate it. I'd love to hear your comments about anything that you feel or that you've experienced with these 5 things, or anything else you want to comment about is great with me. Okay. In love and light, I'll see you next time.